So good morning, everybody. Good morning, Thiyagarajan sir. Brain Herbert quotes, "The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill. The willingness to learn is a choice." Today, you all have taken a choice to attend the webinar. On behalf of ITM Business School, Chennai, I welcome you all students, industrialists, faculties, and well-wishers to the webinar on trending technologies and project management. The agenda of the day for the webinar will be introducing the guest, speaker's presentation, followed by Q&A session for 10 minutes. I kindly request all the participants to raise your queries through the chat window along with your name and email ID. Our presenter will answer all the questions during the Q&A session. But if anything remain unanswered, we will email you within 2 days. Never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Today we have Thiyagarajan Senior Lead Software Engineer, Indium Software, to give a deep insight on trending technologies. He has 10.5 years of proven history of experience in IT industry. He has a strong experience in each and every phase of software development lifecycle. He is an expert in agile and waterfall project management methodologies. He has been into design and development across multiple domains for the past 10 years. He is also a member of Project Management Institute. He holds a master's in computer application from Anna University. He has 4.5 years of experience in telecommunication. He has worked for 3 years in Singapore for Singapore Telecommunications as CRM and sales lead. He has 3 years of experience in medical insurance industry too. He is a certified Agile Scrum Master. He is also ITM Foundation certified. I welcome Mr. Thiyagarajan, Senior Lead Software Engineer of Indium Software on behalf of ITM Business School, Chennai, for this webinar. And now, over to you, Mr. Thiyagarajan. Thiyagarajan sir, you are on mute. Can you unmute it?
Yes, actually, I'm not able to share my screen. Can you enable that because host has disabled my screen?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Hello.
Gulshan sir, Thiyagarajan sir is unable to share his screen. Can you change the settings for sharing his screen?
I have transferred the whole slides to you. Aditya?
Thiyagarajan sir, can you try it now?
Yes. Now. So, okay, guys. This is trending technologies. Okay, can you hear me?
Okay, everyone can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, fine. So today we are going to see about the trending technologies and project management. So hi, my name is Thiyagarajan. I have 10 years of experience in the development, software development life cycle, and I have 5 years requirement management. Excuse me, can you everyone mute yours? Can you please mute your machines if you are not able to talk? If you don't want to talk, please mute.
Thiyagarajan, sir, you can unmute yourself.
Ma'am,
Okay.
I'm college.
Can you hear me?
Crowd is pretty long.
You, can you please? Can you please everyone mute? Can you please mute from your side? Host, please mute.
Kindly request all the participants to mute yourself. Unmute and check if they are mute. You are unmute. மியூட் பண்ணியாச்சு இப்ப அவரை எங்க அவர் எப்படி போய் தேடுறது Sir, you can proceed now.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you, guys. It's really hard to manage the crowd. Okay, fine. Okay, so this is my first slide. So whenever people who are in the IT industry, I think my major audience from from the management point of view, you have many people from the audience, from the student side. So they need to understand how it will be when they are freshers, how they want to set the roadmap in the IT industries. This is how I learned and I set my roadmap here. The first 5 years of the IT industries should be focused on the learning. So if you are not focused on the learning side, because don't worry about your earnings in the first 5 years. The first 5 years is it's a learning curve for everyone. Whatever you want to learn, you grab your knowledge in the first 5 years. That 5 years will help you to earn in the rest of the cycle, rest of the years. So the first 5 years is the foundation to make your foundation very strong to learn the technologies and skills. If it is a startup, don't worry. If it is a MNC, don't worry. Just focus on your progressive learning. Set up your goal of your progressive learning. So focus on learning in the first 5 years. Don't yourself in the earnings. The next 6 to 10 years is the second phase. So what you can do, just first priority, your priority should be the same on the learning first 6 to 10 years. Then the second priority should be the earning. You can learn as well as just focus on the earning. You can negotiate your recruiters. You can negotiate with the companies. See, I have this much of learning. I have come across this much of value. So you can give me, so you can earn in the in the priority 6 to 10 years. The next phase is the 11 to 15 years. In this phase, definitely you should be nearly a manager, at least nearly a manager kind of roles, 11 to 15 years. In this years, you focus on your earning, then the priority is comes back the learning. Of course, we are continually learning that the rest of the life, but we are in the focus of the earning first and in the learning curve in the second. The last phase is the 15 to 20 years is earning first, experience second, and learning. So this is the four. If you are in IT industry after 20 years, it's all surplus. The IT industry will throw you within 20 years. So whatever how you have to manage yourself, you have to grab your good business environment, or else you should be in a very good position of managing director, VP, or in a well-known places in between 15 to 20 years. So you have to set your roadmap in the IT industries. So that will help you to focus on what you need to focus, what you need to prioritize. If you're in IT industry for 3 years without any promotion, without any salary increment, that definitely that is the point you need to change your organization. Definitely roles and responsibility need to be increased in every 3 to 2 years. Otherwise you are not growing. Don't settle in your comfortable positions. So this is the first slide I used to give the mandatory for every seminar or every webinar about the IT industry. So this is how my presentation. Let's go to the project management. Okay, what is project management here? The project management is a project, it's a temporary endeavor. It's a small temporary endeavor. It's undertaken to create a unique product. For example, we have to create a product or service or any results within a stipulated time span. It may be 1 month, it may be 10 years. So everything is a project we have to complete within a time span. It is called project management. So how do we handle the project management? What are all the components inside the project management? So that's what we are going to see in this discussion. So project management is a kind of practice. It is not a profession. It's not a binary input like we give 1, the result should be 0 output. So it's not a mathematics. It's kind of practice. How the doctors or legals are practicing. They won't say they are the experts. They say the practitioners, doctors, because the everything will be changed based on the situation. It will not be the same every time. It will keep changing with the human handlings, or everything will be changed. The scenarios will be changed. It will not be the same for the every results or every problems, every strategies. It will not be the same. That's why it is called as practicing. Just like that, project management is also a practicing. It is not the same for every time. It will be keep changing when you handle with the man, when you handle with the projects, with risk, everything keep changing based on the scenarios, problem statements, and everything. So first, we are going to see the overview of the project management framework and process, project integration management, scope management, schedule management, cost management, quality management, resource management, communication management, risk management, procurement management, and stakeholder management. These all managements all only taken care by the project managers. He is the whole he's the responsibility or ownership of the entire process. So if anything anyhow deviated from anywhere, the only responsible person is the project manager. He has to answer for the every process change. He has to respond for the every deliverables. So these are all the major important components we are going to discuss in the project management. Okay, the overview of the project. As I said earlier, project is a temporary endeavor. It should have some beginnings and it should have the end. And is my screen is not here? Oh, I'm really sorry. I thought my screen was shared. It's my bad. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, sir. Now we are able to see your screen, sir.
Oh, sorry. So then let's go back. Just go back. Okay, this is the 5 phases. Okay. So that's first for the discussion. What are the components we are looking at? Again, it's a project management framework and process, integration management, scope management, schedule management, cost management, quality management, resource management, communication management, risk management, procurement management, and stakeholder management. These are all the important components which we are going to discuss about the project management. Okay, so as I said earlier, project is a temporary endeavor. It is, if it is not repetitive, it is an operational management. The operations only do the repetitive of works. The customer cares, they will come, they will call, and they will keep on saying the same thing. The IVR that can be automated. What are the repeated things we are doing? It comes to the operation management. So project management is a one-time endeavor. We are do that. It's a one-time. So it should has beginning and it should have end. It may be the 1 month, it may be the 5 years, but it should have a definite starting and end. So when the project, what are the characteristics of projects? The project should meet all the requirements, then only the project will end. So other than that, when the project will end, when the funding is exhausted, when there is a no project plan, when there is no change control, everyone has confused with the requirements, it's a chaos repeated happen. Is there any legal, for example, any competitions, any legal failures, the government has stopped so in that phase, the project will be failed. When the project will be successfully completed, when all the requirements met, then only the project is considered as successfully completed. So the values of the project management. What are the values of project management? It's an organizational success, and when we have the advanced planning and the values, like you can contribute your advanced planning, what will happen in the future, so we can handle the situation in upfront. For every cases you have to predict, you have to analyze based on your technicals and whatever the inputs you have, you process with your technical tools and technologies, and you get the output. That is the value of the project management to get the deliverable success. So, okay, there is an institute for the project management. It's a PMP, Project Management Institute. It follows the 5 process groups and 10 knowledge areas and 49 processes. These are all the major area which we are going to learn about the project management in this discussion. Actually, this is a study. We can study for 1 year, or it is can study for the 3 months, 6 months courses, but it's hard to cover in this. So I skipped out the formulas and how to implement, and just I'm going through the overview of how the project management works and what are all the areas we need to work on. So there is a 5 process groups and 10 knowledge areas and 49 process we are following. It should have some standard documents and the process and approaches we have to follow to stabilize the project. And what are the areas? This approach has been applied to across the areas, not only the software industries. It can be applied across the oil, petrochemical, constructions, any project sectors you can implement this approaches. So as said, the hard road, the tough roads decide the good driver. Like that, the more you tailor the project, whenever you need, you have to tailor your process. The process is nothing but you have to make your deliverables in an easy way and a very qualitative way. So that's the very good project manager is considered by the tailoring of the process and based on the organization needs, you are delivering your projects. So what is the roles of the project manager? As a project manager, you have the full responsibility. You are the account owner of the project. You have to responsible for everything, whatever happened in your project, because you are driving the project. So credits goes to the team, but the blame comes to the project manager. It applies what he needs to do. He has to apply the lessons learned for the previous or recent projects. So what he learned in the previous projects, he has to learn, and he has to define the project roles and their responsibilities, what he needs to do and what he should not do. So what are the team members, leads, and everything he has to perform, and tracking the project status and the communication status, and he has to adopt the best practices. He has to identify the risk and issue management. He has to be the decision maker. He has the final decision maker, and he promotes the client involvements and support the team, encourage the team, and mentoring the team, and effective change control. These are all the roles of the project manager. Okay. There are in a project, there is a hierarchy like portfolios. It's a portfolios is a organization's overall strategy. For example, a portfolio manager consists of many programs, and the programs may consist of projects. Project is the unit of the portfolios. The portfolio may contain many sub-projects. It may be independent, or maybe it may consist of many programs and projects. And also it has the independent own other works. Like a project is the sub components of the sub programs. So these are all the hierarchy and structure and how we programs, portfolios and projects has to be maintained. So what are all strategic goals that can be considered in the programs, and the organizational strategy can be considered in the portfolio, and what are all the activities and work levels can be considered in the project. So let's go and visit the project management framework and process. Okay, the project framework and group process groups. So in every organization, like CMM level 5 organization, we have the project management office. That project management, that's we call as PM or project management officers. And we are going to see the organizational structure, how the organization structure is in the IT industry. Project management process. What are all the process we have? We have 5 process. And project life cycle, project management process map, how we are mapping this process, and project management process framework. So this is what we are going to see in the framework and process. Okay, project management office. What project management office? Suppose we consider as a project which has 500 members, not an organization. A project may consist 500 members. Okay, this 500 members cannot, if an organization, it is handled by the HR, but it's completely a project related. So you have to maintain a project management office. It's a set of people who working for the project management. What they will do, they will pull out all the standard process, and they have to set the process along with the project managers, and they have to provide the resources. They have to provide the methodologies what the client requirements. For example, they have the client required the restricted way. For example, if the one of the clients like banking clients and like a casino, these kind of clients may have so much of restrictions. They are not allowing the mobiles inside the work premise, work desk. So that kind of restrictions, you cannot share anything, you cannot take the belongings inside. So this kind of restrictions and the policies, methodologies, tools, what are all the tools they have to use, the team has to use. If the technology is not available, they have to give the training. So this set of peoples will help the managers, and they give the templates, like they will send the dashboard to the client. What is the KPI, key performance indicator? What are all the SLAs? We have made this much of SLAs. These are all the success factors. So everything can be managed by the project management office. If it's a smaller project, it is handled by the common project manager and the HR. If it is a 500 or 200 size of project group, so we have the separate project management office. So this is the structure of the project management office. These are all the key items. They have maintained the lesson learned, and they maintain the knowledge base and the interdependencies between the project. If there are multiple projects will be ongoing. For example, 49 projects is delivered in this month. So month on month basis, they will give the report to the client, like we have delivered 49 projects and we have solved 90% of the incidents. So these are the reports and repositories they keep maintaining, and they keep sending to the senior management and the clients. These are all the major work for the project management office. Project management structure. So what is the project management structure? The organization structures, the organization structure. The organization structure is categorized into 3. For example, functional organization, project-based organization, and the matrix organization. The functional organization is like only the functional groups like HR, accounts, and all those things. Okay. Please share your views. Okay, yes. If you have any questions, please share your views. Okay. So please let me know if you have any questions, and I will answer based on your questions. Okay, let's go to the slide. It's a functional organization. What is functional organization? For example, the accounts-based organization, like for example, telecom industry, they have only telecoms. Explain 11 by 11. 11 by example. Okay. Okay, I will explain level by example. For example, this is the executive level. It's a functional head. One executive level is the top level. The functional head. The functional head is a functional organization. For example, he has a HR manager. Functional head means HR manager, account head, accounts manager, and there is nothing to do with the project. The project manager can do projects across any functions. For example, he can do some projects in the HR department to create one tool. So he can do the he can work with the accounts department to create one project for the accounting tool. So likewise, there is a separate functional heads, HR, accounts, and legal. They have separate heads in that level. But in the functional heads, when you are in the project management, you don't have the much scope in the functional, because every resource will report to the functional heads. They won't work with the project resource. So there will be a minimal coordination, so that the project work will be reduced, so we cannot deliver our projects on time, because the resource has been shared. The resource will be reporting to the function head, not with the project head. So that is the organizational point of view. So everything will be focused on the functions. Every resource will be reporting to the functions. They are not reporting to the organization. Okay. Okay, what is the executive? The next one is project test organization. What is project test organization? The top heads will be the project managers. All the company is based on only projects. For example, IT industry. The IT industry does not have much functional heads. Only two functional heads like HR and accounts. Rest of the managers are only project heads. So their focus is only on projects. So every resource is reporting to the project management. So all the works will be focused on the project. It will be delivered in a focused way. So this is called a project-based organization, and the matrix organization is like the mixer of project head and the functional head. So this is the organizational. So the next one, this is the 5 process groups. Okay. Initiating process group, planning process group, executing process group, monitoring and controlling process group, and closing process group. So all the project management will be into this 5 process group. What is initiating process group? In this process group, we don't have the detailed insights of the projects and what we are going to do and what we are going to accomplish. But we have the vision, what we want, what is the business need, and how we are going to authorize, what is the scope. So, sorry, not the scope. Who will authorize the project? This will be taken into the initiation process. The planning process, which has that we are going to plan for all the project management, and we are going to plan for scope, schedule. All the planning will be done in the planning process group. Executing process group is like we are going to the executing process group, that we are going to execute and plan, and we are deliver whatever we have planned. We have to work on the execution level. So we carry out our works, whatever we are based on the plan. So we should not deviate. The monitoring and controlling, and we have to verify whether we are. Is there any variance in the is there any variance in the cost, so that we can deliver the project on time with the right quality. So is that anything corrective actions we have to make? If any variance we have found, then we have to take any corrective action. So that will be handled in the monitoring and control process. And the closing is the sign off for the project. So project life cycle. So project has maybe now it's agile and incremental, iterative and sequential overlapping. These are all 3 life cycles we use to process. So agile is the trending, and it's recently because we are adapting the changes. So every 2 weeks, every quickly new design, new problem solving. Agile is adapting. If you don't know how to do that, so let's solve it together. It's kind of approach is agile. So it's a lot of uncertainty in the agile development. We don't need any upfront knowledge about the technology. Just what we have, just we go through the knowledge and we can attain the what we want and what we expected. So that is the agile process. So increment and iterative is also agile, kind of agile, like it's iterative, but it is not uncertain. What we know that will be can achieve with the cycles. The sequential is do one by one, and overlapping is the two things or two process we do at the same time. So these are all the project life cycle. If you go through this, each and everything is a separate topic. Agile is a separate topic. Incremental and iterative is a separate topic. Sequential is a separate topic. So most of the companies are following the agile development because this is in this development only we can adopt the changes quickly, and if you don't want, you can throw it immediately. So you don't need to wait the entire project to complete and let's this is not what I want. So that kind of situation can be avoided in the agile. So every sprint you have seen the demos. What I want, this is what I want. Yes, it's coming, shaping up. So if any in between, if you find anything is not available, so this is not what I want actually. So I can change it immediately. So that kind of things can be done in the agile, but not in the sequential and waterfall models. So this is the project management process now. So it has, as I told you, it has 5 process. Like you can color it right. Yellow is the initiating process. It's a planning. These are the project management process groups. A project manager should come across all this process. He should know all this process, what to do, when to do, how to do, where to do. He should be involved in each and every plan of this items. He should be part of the initiation, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing. It has 10 knowledge areas. We consider as a knowledge area: integration management, scope management, schedule management, cost management. So what are all the process fit into what are the action we are going to do in that area? So this is how we are going to explain in this discussion. Project integration is a project charter, and in the initiation phase, we can create a project charter and identify stakeholders. And the planning, all the plans can be done in this planning process and across the knowledge areas. Executing where we are working, the actual work in the execution phase. Monitoring and control. Everywhere we need to control and monitor. There is no control and monitor, there will be a lot of deviations and there will be a lot of variance. So the last one is closing the project. If the successful or failure, you have to close the project and hand over to the sponsor or the clients. So any questions so far? Any questions so far?
So we have some questions. Can I ask it one by one?
Yes, yes.
Gulshan sir is asking, can you share your views on amalgamation of IT with management in the era of artificial intelligence, analytics, IoT, and machine learning? Should a student with BTech background go for management education for a better growth in IT firms?
Yes, actually, IoT, there's a trending technologies like, and there are 10 technologies which is very trending in industries. One is artificial intelligence, IoT, and data science, full stack development, and there are a lot of things we have in the trending technologies. This is 2019. The 2020 has even more better. It's like automatic driving. Because if you understand, 10 years back, 15 years back, when I was studying, that time alone, cloud computing is started. When I was doing the project, like they started with the grid computing, cloud computing, mobile computing. But after a decade of years, now only the IT industries have achieved the cloud computing, like everything is on cloud. It takes 10 years to achieve. So when you learn the new technologies ahead, it will help you to groom your you can enable yourself in that technology, because if you learn only one technology in the initial phase, it will be help you for the next 10 years. Then you have to learn, then you slowly learn, then you will come into the project management. So that would be a great help, because trending technologies, AI, ML, IoTs are all the top trending technologies. So all the for IoTs, kind of like a fridge has a internet in fridge, internet in a TV, internet in everything. So devices is called IoT. Artificial intelligence coming in everything. For example, like the corona, like based on your data, they are finding some patterns, and they are automatically it identify the explain the iteration once. Okay, what is the next question?
Sir, he's also asking like BTech background students, if they take management education, will there be a better growth for IT firms?
Yes, definitely, because everyone wants to go to the management side. See, if you can see all the techies is taking the management. No one stopped with the engineering. Everyone wants to go to the management sides, because the management is the CEO is comes under the management, not in the engineering. Though the Google engineers started with the engineering, though Sundar Pichai started with engineering, they are always wanted to end up with the management. So engineering is the startup to learn the technologies, and if you have to learn, then every engineer is wanted to grow towards the. So management, definitely management is the everyone's roadmap. So it's maybe if you're an engineer, you will learn for you work for 5 years, 10 years, and go for management. It will automatically happen. It will automatically happen after 10 years. Definitely, will become a manager in a technical field. If you want, some people want to pursue the B schools, so they directly go to the, for example, the premier B schools. They directly deploy them into the lead level positions. They are not deployed in the associate level. For example, if you are a computer engineer, you will deploy it in associate engineer, software engineer, senior software engineer, and a team lead. But if you complete your B school, like a premier school, B schools, the companies will deploy you in the team lead positions, because they believe that you know more about the team handling and technologies. So that's why they're giving the higher grade to the premier B schools.
So there is one more question from Agni. They are asking like he or she, I don't know. They are asking like if there is a finance or management project, how can you data interpret the methods in the project?
Okay, if there is a finance and how can you interpret the data? Actually, we directly cannot interpret the data. Okay, there is a process that is called project management. You cannot directly go into the project and I want to get the data, means you cannot get the data. First, you have to sign off the project, and there is a set of phases like requirement gathering, and you have to set the scope. And after the set the scope, you have to schedule the project. And you have, once you have to schedule the project, you have to sequence the project. You have to break it into the task, how many tasks you want to break it, and each and granular module. In that granular module, you want to get the data, and you have to change. Whether you want the ETL, there is a choosing of technologies. If you, because you are working with the data, what is your actual requirement? If you want the web scraping, web development, ETL. ETL is the extraction, transformation, loading. It's mostly handling with data, and data science is the analyzing of the process, like multiple algorithms. Based on the linear algorithms, they do some decision making. That is called data science. So these are all the kind of things. Each and everything is a separate department and separate knowledge areas. So it cannot be decided in just like that. Since your question is very overall, generic, my answer is it's a process. Everything has a process. If you want to convert the data, if you want to get the data from the accounts, you have to gather the requirements, what they want. We are trying to give the solution. Always companies want the partner should be part of the solution. Because companies don't know what to do. If someone is come with the solution, they accept them as a partner of the company. So they give more projects instead of selling their product or projects. Those who are giving the solution, they will accept, and they will travel along with the partners. So this is how the company and the organization works.
So we have a question from Akshaya. She's asking like, what are the skills that are required in order to get hired for project manager? And being a fresher in supply chain operations, is there any job growth for us in the area of project management?
Yes, project management is a plenty of jobs. You have to complete. There's a project management certifications are there available. That certification has to complete. Either you have to complete the certifications, or else you should have the 10 years, minimum 10 years of experience in the organization, or else you have to complete the management course. These are all the three ways you can achieve the into the management area. So the project management. For example, first one is the project management certification. Like you have PMP, project management. The PMI, Project Management Institute, has a PMP certification. Prince 2, it is a UK-based certification. Those who are all the projects you have to handle the UK-based. Those areas, those areas, you can complete the Prince 2. And if any quality related, Six Sigma. So there are plenty of things are there, but you have to achieve in three ways. Either you have to work for 10 years, or else complete the project management course certification after 5 years, or else directly if you want the project management, you have to do the MBA in a B schools kind of thing.
Sir, there is a question from Gulshan sir. He's asking like, what is the scope of business analytics? How does it help the students with IT or computer science background? As well as he's asking like, financial heads and top heads in IT companies are they from management background?
No, actually it's a part of they are partly from the management background, and they are partly from the technical side. Those who grow, there is a people who've grown along with the technology side, they also become the top heads. Sometimes people also completed the MBAs from the B schools. They became the top heads of the IT companies. So in the analytics side, there is a scope. We have the scope. Each and everything has a scope. The entire world has a different doing different works. If everyone has their own work, we are going to the business analytics. Yes, business intelligence. Yes, we have a lot of scopes. Now today world is mostly looking into the AI, artificial intelligence. So like this kind of things only the world is driving into. Where the business analytics is required when the part of the when they want to create some requirements. For example, as I told you, I want to start a bank. Actually, HDFC Bank is started by the Citibank CEO. He resigned the job and he come back and he started with the HDFC. He became HDFC CEO. At the time, they have only the license. They know what to do and who need to call. So it's every field has the requirement. So we need to know what to do, where to do, and how to do. That is the process.
Sir, we have a question from Shilpa Savior. She's asking like, sir, we have seen a great development in IT industries for the last 15 years. So what will be its situation after its pandemic compared to the other industries?
I think IT industries won't be impact much. because the IT industry is still running as a work from home. Maybe the pattern may change, like the focus will be from the office to, they may change on office to work from home pattern. But IT industry is not majorly, because since some of the industries holding the projects, because IT industry is not working for IT industry, they have to work for the banking sectors, they have to work for the financial sectors, they have to work for the sectors wise, manufacturing, food industry, life science, marketing and sales. So since all are in a hold, we are managing the run, like there is no growth in the development in this next 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months. There will not be a much projects, but we can be maintaining of projects will be there, because that survival is much important for the other industries as well. So in that way, IT industry will not impact, but I think in the first next 1 or 2 years there will not be new projects. It's very will be reduced.
And we have a question from M. Vignesh. He's asking, like, sir, if we should know full stack programs, we should take operations management group in PGD.
No, a full stack development is completely different, and operation management is completely different. Full stack development is a kind of, you are the developer should program the UI, like design to end to end, from design, UI, and the backend web API, backend coding, database, everything from the end to end database to, from the UI to database handling is the full stack development. But operations is like the same repetitive of works, like just like customer care, you just go and call to customer, and you have to send the reports. It's a repetitive work. It is no relation between the operation manager and the full stack development.
Sir, we have a person named Samuel Johnson. He's asking, like, can you explain the iteration once more?
Which iterations, like? Okay, so this is the iterations. For example, every project is started with the requirement gathering. Agile, you can see that Agile has requirement, planning, design, development, and release. Then you have to track the monitoring. Once it has released to the production, you have to track. So every 2 months or 3 months, they will release with the, for example, before how it was is the SDLC, incremental development model, how it will be. If it's a project of 1 year, you have to wait for 1 year to deploy it into the production. And if it is not come in the way what you expected, it will be a big loss for the sponsor. So now what this model has given you, it will give you every 2 months, 3 months, you will deploy it into the production or into the live. So the sponsor has to see, this is what I required. So if any flaws will be shown in upfront, so it will reduce the more risk. And every phase has for every phase, like every 2 months, we have to do the requirement, planning, design. All the three will be done in the every 2 months. So it keep the iteration is keep on going until the product has to complete, or the project has complete.
So we do, that's all from our end. That's questions. We don't have much more queries. Any other queries? We have one more. 1 minute, sir. Like Gulshan sir is asking, like, is going for Six Sigma a good idea? Please suggest any other certification along with higher education.
There is a certifications, but what is your focus on? Six Sigma is for the quality management. If you are going for the quality related management, Six Sigma is the best course I prefer. If you are going for the management side, like UK kind of projects, if you are going to handle UK kind of projects, that project you need to go for Prince 2. If you are handling the UK kind of projects, though PMP is a worldwide, it's majorly preferred for the US based projects. PMP is certification is the best for the US based project, but you need there is a minimal qualification, like you need 3 to 5 years of working experience in the industry. So then only you can understand what is going in the industry. Then only you can handle the projects. So that is the requirement. So if you go for technology, there are a lot of certifications are there. Microsoft certifications are there for all the products, and AWS, the AWS certifications are there. So there are a lot of certifications out there. What is your focus on? Based on that, you read the certification. But certification is not only the thing you can get the job. How much you are know your knowledge has to speak more than the certification. It's just an entry point for the any job or any resume to process.
So we have a question from Stefani. She's asking like, is it possible for a commerce or finance student to survive in IT firm as same as a student from engineering background?
Commerce or IT student, nowadays, yes, we can survive, but they need, see, the food technology is a good question, because food technology persons also can survive, but it depends on the organization is they ready to take, because most of the organization was not ready to take the commerce or economics people. But you can, I would suggest you can be a business analyst, learn the business, because today there will be a lot of technology people are there, but people are not there to know what is the business actually business about. For example, I want to create a mortgage software, like, so I want to need how the mortgage process will be. I need to go and find the pawnbroker, and how the pawnbroker actually works to do the mortgage. So I need to understand the process, and I can implement the new added advantages. So like that, if you are a BCom student, what are all the commerce related business, know the business about that. So do some financial understanding, get the financial understanding. Based on that, you can survive in the IT industry. Because if I'm getting the marketing projects, I want to test the marketing strategies, but I don't know the actual requirement about the market, because engineering students don't know about the marketing strategies. Then where should I go? I need to find the real marketing guy, and I can pull that guy into my project as a tester, as a requirement analyst, so that he will give the added advantage to the project, so I can learn more about the project. Then the developer will develop based on the ideas of the market, that strategy. Then he only knows how to test, because he is a real marketing person, so in the real ground. So this is how the IT industry pulling real code people to the IT industry. That is not requirement for the real hardcore developers, technical guy only required in the industry. There is a real business people actually working on the ground also required.
Sir, I have a question from my end. You have certifications for project management. So who is a better manager? A person who pursues a certification and become a manager, or a person from small level, he from software engineer towards a project manager? He takes 10 to 20, 12 years or 15 years of time to become a project manager. So as soon as I do a certification and become a project manager, and your year of experience, your long year of experience, and then becoming a project manager, who's effective? What is your opinion on it?
In my opinion, I think in experience based, 10 years of experience or 20, 15 years of experience, person can be a better manager, because they know how to react, when to react, customer pulse. That is a major thing, is customer pulse. The customer pulse is what he wants, how to react in this situation, how to answer this politely. If people are coming from the even from the management background, and they don't know how to get the customer pulse, it is much more important what he really needs, or he really wants a solution, or really wants the tool, or else what kind of things he needs. That will be comes under the experience. But you should know the upgraded, because what is required in the certification, that the certification shows the more upgradations. because it is the collective of people's experience. It is managed with the collective of people experience. They give it in a very detailed way. This is the best practices is given by the multiple experienced project management has designed this certification. So you came to know that, but even though you know that, you need some experience to implement that in a right phase and right way, because what we are doing in a project management is a tailoring process. If we are not going to implement the process actually, what is there in the book, what is there in the slide, we cannot implement in the straight away. You have to do the tailoring. You have to cut here. You have to add more than that way. What you want, that only you can do. The more you tailor, the more you better manage.
Thank you, sir. The Q&A session was really awesome. You answered every question wonderfully, and we had a very good participants who were able to ask very valuable questions. Thank you, everybody. Sir, thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and yeah, able to come in for this webinar. And you really insisted very good things about learning is more important than that of your yearnings, and first you learn before you yearn. That was very important. And like there are some, you told very clearly about the roles of project manager, the hierarchy, the project manager, the framework of it, the process of it, and how the project management office should be, and how it should be differentiated from your organization structures, how to provide your policies, your methodologies, tools, templates. Everything was awesome. And you also told very clearly about your project life cycle, about your agile, adaptive, and your overlapping.
Actually, Ajita, I didn't start my slides even. It's hundreds of slides are there. I just completed
sir.
10 slides.
I know, sir. This topic is very, very long, and like it requires a lot of time to take into. Like it would be very. If you could share your PPT, we'll share with others also. That will be helpful for them also. And one more time, we'll have a very detailed discussion about. Now we are able to know what is project management. You have given very good explanation about your project management, how it should be initiated, planning, execution, monitoring, closing. All those were very awesome, and you gave a very good insight, which has created a very good insight about what is project management. But like I could understand that it's a very vast session, and we have got a very ample amount of feedback from your. You can see the chat, and everybody have told that the session was very awesome, and it has given a valuable insight for them. And they can it has told like Ramasubramaniam sir has told we require more time to explore this topic. Of course, I can understand. Like as a management student, we require, and as a management, many of the students are management students. They require some time to explore about it. And I thank all the participants also for your active participation. The Q&A session was awesome. Valuable questions. We were able to get your valuable questions, and I hope sir has answered all your questions. If not any one of your questions, even if something is say, I would like to. You can send an email to us. We'll towards Thiyagarajan, and we'll get you answers and email you. We have a series of webinars which are coming in. We are here to give you. ITM Business School Chennai has made it very feasible. Like teaching is a continuous process, and we are in the process of giving you continuously teaching and giving you new insights about every of your topics. And I found that there were many faculties also, industrialists, faculty, students who were there in the participation. Thank you everybody for making this day a wonderful one. I hope anything else to be told, Thiyagarajan sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your participation, and thanks for Gulshan sir to provide the opportunity. And I'm very happy to give the presentations like this, because I'm always looking for the what I have learned and what we are experienced and sharing with the people, like for the young minds. It's a very pleasure for me, and thanks for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. With this, we'll end end this webinar. We'll all meet you in the next webinar. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.